Alright then, so in this lesson we're going to talk about rows, which allow us to display a list of widgets, this time in a row going from left to right, instead of a column which is top to bottom. So we're going to use the sandbox widget again down here inside the main.dart file, which is why I've set the home field to be the sandbox widget right here. We have the app bar, and then at the minute the body is just a text widget which says row, and we can see that over here. Alright, so let's remove this fella and replace it with row like so. Okay, so row, much like column, has a children property, which must be a list of widgets. So I'm going to paste in these 3 widgets. It's going to be 3 containers just to save your time as well as mine, so I don't have to write them out from scratch. And we can see for each one we have a height property. The first one is 100, then 200, then 300, so they're all different heights. The colors are red, green, and then blue, and then they have different text as well for the child, so 1, 2, and 3. All right, so if we save this, we should see those 3 containers on the screen, which we do this time going from left to right in a row. And we can see those different colors and heights as well. Okay, so we can also align these, much like we could elements inside a column, using a couple of different properties. And again, we use main axis alignment and cross axis alignment. Now, the position, or the direction rather, of those different axes are the opposite to columns. So in rows, the main axis is, again, the direction of the content. Now, the content goes from left to right, so the main axis is left to right. The cross axis is perpendicular to that, so that would be top to bottom. All right, so we can use those 2 different properties. We're going to use the main axis to kind of change the layout going from left to right first of all. So let's come to the row and say main axis alignment. We're going to use the main axis alignment to do this. We can say dot, for example, space between. And when we do that, we can see they get space in between them. We could do dot end, and they would all go to the right. We could do dot, what else have we got? Center. Save that, and they're in the center. All right, cool. Now, the cross-axis alignment, so let's try that, is going to position them top to bottom. And remember, this is only going to be so far as the height of the row, which is the height of the largest element. So the row height is this thing right here. So if we say cross-axis alignment.end, it's not going to go down here. It's going to go down here to the bottom of the row, right? So we can say main, or rather cross-axis alignments, and then we'll say dot end just to demo this, and you can see they all go to the bottom of the row, not the bottom of the screen, the bottom of the row. All right, let's also try center, and I think actually this was the default one where they're all in the center. We can say dot start like so, and they go to the top. That's the start. We could also say dot stretch. And if we save this one, this time they do go all the way to the bottom. So they stretch then, and the column takes up the maximum available room to it. And that was the same for columns, remember. When we use stretch on the cross-axis alignment, regardless of the width of the column, it went full width across the screen. Okay, so now hopefully you get the hang of using rows. They're basically just the opposite of a column. They go left to right instead of top to bottom. Now let's try using a row inside our home.dart file. Now, at the minute down here, you can see we have a column with 2 containers inside that column. Now, this second container right here is going to be to show our coffee preferences eventually. And instead of just having text here, we're going to have some coffee preferences. And those coffee preferences are actually going to be in their own widget, just to make it so that this isn't really messy inside this one. So what I'm going to do is make a new file, and I'm going to call this coffee_prefs.dart. And then inside this file, I'm going to flesh out a stateless widget by typing stl and then tab. We're going to call this coffee prefs, like so. And then I'm going to save that. Back in home.dart, I'm going to use coffee prefs right here and put a const in front of it. When I clicked on it, it automatically imported it at the top for me. Make sure that you do that as well, otherwise it's not going to work. And now back inside this coffee prefs Dart file, we can flesh out this widget. So what do we want inside here? Well, what I'd like to do is actually have 2 rows. So we're going to have a row at the top, which is going to be for the strength of the coffee eventually. And we're going to have a row of different images later on. We've not covered images yet, but we're going to have a row of images for the coffee. We're also going to have underneath that a row of images for the sugar, like a little row of sugar cubes or something. Now, if we want two things on top of each other, two rows on top of each other, well, we probably should use a column first of all, because we need two widgets, one on top of the other. So let's use a column to begin with. So I'm going to say return const column right here. Inside that, we have our children field, which is a list of widgets. And then inside that, we're going to have two rows. So the first row and then the second row. Okay. So the first row is going to be for the strength. And there's going to be 3 items in this for now. So let me do children first of all. And then that's going to be a list of widgets. The first widget is going to be a text widget, and that's going to say strength, like so, then a colon, and then a space. And then the second widget is going to be a text widget again, and this time it's going to be a number, but as a string, so 3. And the reason I'm doing it here and not just here, for example, is because later on this is going to get output dynamically, this number, and it will just be easier to dynamically output the number in a separate widget right here. So thirdly, we'll do a sized box. Now, we've not seen what a sized box is at the moment, but basically a sized box allows us to create an invisible box, if you like, that takes up a certain amount of space. So I can specify a width of this and set it to be 50 pixels, right? Now, this will come into play more later on, so don't worry too much about this for now. You'll see this in action later on. All right, so that's the first one. Let's also copy this and paste it inside this row. This time it's going to be for the sugars. So we'll say sugars, we'll keep that at 3, and then a sized box, which is 50 pixels in width again. All right, so like I said, later on we'll have some other widgets in these rows as well, primarily images. So in this one we'll have images of coffee beans, and there might be 3, 4, or 5 of them. Same down here, but this time sugar cubes. And the amount of images in the rows are going to dictate either the strength or the number of sugars, right? So I'm going to save that right now, and then I'm going to come back to the main.dart file, because currently we're using the sandbox right here. Instead, we want to use the home widget, which is also embedding the coffee prefs widget down here. So we should see this on the screen now. We do need to restart the app. So click on this green icon right here. And now we can see we still have this column here. And then inside this second container, we have another column, 2 items on top of each other, 2 rows on top of each other. The top one says strength 3, and then the bottom one says sugars 3. Now, just to demo very quickly this sized box, just so you can see what it does on the screen, I'm going to place it there in between these 2 text widgets. Now, at the minute, there's next to no space between where it says strength 3 and sugars 3. But if I save this now, watch this, you can see now we get 50 pixels of space between those 2 widgets. So this sized box is just a nice way to add space between other elements or other widgets. So I'm going to place them at the bottom for now, because we might need those later on when we add more elements down here. Okay, so let me save that now and make sure everything goes back to normal, and it does. So there we go, we've had a little bit of practice now with rows, and again we might be using them throughout the rest of this course as we go forward.